So one of the most tricky things to do is to compare guitar pedal sounds because, well, there's limitless guitar tones and pickup configurations and strings and finger and touch. It's just mind-boggling. So what we're going to do is we're going to feed a perfect sine wave C3 tone into a guitar pedal, and we're going to look at the frequency response. We're going to look at the waveform shape that comes out of the pedal. We've got 6 general guitar pedal sounds, and we're going to compare those. The JHS Germanium Boost pedal, the Proco Rat, the Vertex Ultraphonics MK2, the JHS AT Plus, the Andy Timmons version 2 drive pedal, the Ibanez Tube Screamer TS808, and the JHS Nauticlon. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So you got the Ibanez TS808 Tube Screamer. It's an analog overdrive circuit that primarily relies on an operational amplifier, op amp, and silicone diodes. While transistors manage the input, output, and switching, the actual Tube Screamer sound happens in the middle of the circuit using different components. The op amp, dual operational amplifier, handles the core audio amplification. It's famous for its smooth, low fidelity clipping characteristics. Symmetrical clipping diodes, a pair of 1N914 silicone diodes are placed in the feedback loop of the op amp, and it's got a mid-range hump. The circuit filters out low and high frequencies while boosting the mid-range around 720 Hertz. This allows guitar solos to cut through a loud mix. So the Proco Rat, this uses an op amp as well, and it's got hard clipping diodes rather than your traditional transistor-based clipping circuit. It's got the famous LM308 transistor, which that pedal does have. That's like a 1980s Rat pedal, so it's got the LM308. And hard clipping diodes, a JFET output buffer, junction field effect transistors. After the distortion tone control stages, the circuit utilizes a single JFET configured as a source follower. This specific transistor setup provides a low output impedance, which preserves your guitar's tone and prevents the volume knob from interacting with the tone filter. The Vertex Ultraphonics. This pedal is basically a Dumble overdrive special circuit. It's kind of the amp in the box type of pedal. It generates a smooth, touch sensitive, and harmonically rich overdrive. Circuit is a op amp with diode clipping. Like many classic overdrive pedals, similar in the D-style circuits and the Zen Drive. The bass foundation of the pedal uses operational amps, op amps, and diodes to clip the audio signal, creating that iconic mid-boosted harmonic character. So JFET transistors, and it's a 100% analog design. The entire signal path is analog with no digital modeling. Okay, the JHS AT or Andy Timmons Drive version 2 or AT Plus. This is an op amp based high gain distortion pedal. It's kind of based on the JHS Angry Charlie, which is kind of a Marshall amp in the box type of pedal. The drive circuit uses an op amp combined with clipping diodes in the feedback loop to generate a core British amp style distortion. It's got a JFET pre-boost circuit before the drive circuit, headroom and wattage switch. So it's got this 3-way toggle switch, which alters the clipping threshold to emulate the feel and compression characteristics of a 25, 50, and 100 watt tube amp. All right, the JHS Germanium Boost. So this Germanium Boost pedal is basically built around this new old stock OC71 Germanium transistor. It produces kind of a vintage saturation, high-end bite, and mid-range crunch. There's only like 700 of these produced, so they're kind of a sought-after thing. I bought mine about a year ago, and I was trying to do a pedal comparison on germanium diodes, so probably hang on to that one for a while. It's got the OC71 transistor, which is the secret sauce. It's got a boost knob. As you turn it up, it pushes more treble and gritty gain into your amp. And it's got kind of a switch, a toggle switch for the frequencies. Okay, the JHS Nauticlon is a analog overdrive circuit that's directly replicating the Klon Centaur, that classic, really expensive pedal. Its core audio amplification is dual gain mixing, and active equalization rely on op amps and clipping diodes, like most pedals, but rather than a standalone transistor, it uses a front-end field effect transistor, so a FET structure, mostly for preamplification and signal buffering. So it's got the dual gain potentiometer. This specialized control simultaneously blends clean signal with overdrive signal while altering the mid-frequency response as you turn it clockwise. It's got an internal voltage doubler, so the circuit safely accepts a 9-volt DC power supply, but internally it converts it to 18 volts DC. So this massive increase in internal voltage gives the circuit a high amount of clean headroom. Schottky clipping diodes, and it's got a Shamrock mod switch. So you can kind of gain it up by 4 dB. All right, there you have it. Man, I thought that was pretty interesting. Yeah, it's hard to be objective about comparing pedals, and I think the sine wave going into the pedals really gave us an accurate, objective comparison between pedal to pedal to pedal. And we could also see that that waveform shape, which, like oscillators and synthesizers, those waveforms, square waves, triangle waves, etc., they all have a timbre to them, and each of those pedals really kind of have their own timbre. Also, looking at the frequency spectrum and just seeing which parts of the spectrum and the overtone series that's kind of created with those oscillating waveform shapes really kind of give some contrast to each of those pedals. That's, like I said, pretty objective. Yeah, cool. I really like that. I might try to do more pedal comparisons with sine waves rather than playing guitars through them solely. So yeah, cool. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and like the videos if you like it. And we'll be back for more videos, and take care. Peace out. Thanks for watching.